Oh yeah, baby, we're coming in for the evening edition of DYOR Live here. All sorts of good news in the market. Check out the comments, everybody. There's some super alpha dropped in there by Miss Carmen Crypto. Your mics are live. Your mic is live. Fire Chicken's in the house.
What's up, Fire Chicken?
Your camera is not up, Pedro.
It's coming on right now as we speak. You know what
it's a good one, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever it is in the world you're coming to us from. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting a special edition of DYOR Live, the evening edition. We were going to do a Space Lounge premium only for Rumble, but we had to bail on the show today, so we thought we'd come and drive all of you nuts with our evening banter, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, it's been a good evening so far. Mr. Pedro Garcia, ladies and gentlemen, giving that boy a hand there.
There we go.
That's all right. But it's November 20th, 2025. All the good stuff going on. Coinbase says, we're out of here, man. We were in a Delaware company. Now we're a Texas company. Yeehaw! We're going to ride the bull. Oh. Ride the bull, sissy. Ride the bull, Sally. Ride the bull, Sally. Sissy? I don't remember the line from that movie. Anyway, Bitcoin lead his price up here, 86.5. Woo. Getting close to the 85 that Pedro said it was going to go to. ETFs unload. Still, they're unloading. Yet, ladies and gentlemen, JP Morgan blames whom? Retail. They don't want to tell their customers they led them into a lousy investment towards the end of the year. So they're blaming retail, blaming you and me and everybody else that it's our fault. They also said, and some ETFs, but they laid it square on our fault. That was all my intro news. Anyway, Pedro, how you doing this evening, my friend?
It is fabulous. You know what somebody said I look like today?
Richard Gere.
No, Russell Crowe. But
Russell?
Richard
Okay,
Gere.
I can see the round face. I can see that.
Yeah, I was like, I said that, I was like, you know what? I kind of could look like it. You know, she's like, you got the little like salt and pepper right here, and you got like that rugged eye, you know. And I said that, I was like, that's not a bad guy to be connected with. I mean, Gladiator, you know, you got Maximus, you know.
I'm trying to give you a drink of my martini here, Pedro.
I see it.
I got the old number 5 going here tonight, a Bombay Sapphire Martini for the show, just for you guys tonight in celebration of all these viewers tuning into us, and in celebration for Carmen Crypto's wedding. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Carmen Crypto and Brian tied the knot.
There you go.
Congratulations to our former co-host and sometimes guest appearance, Miss. She's on the YouTube here as must have been a nom de jour from a long time ago. CK Penguin Love. I spent today learning about tokenized uranium and prediction markets and celebrating. It's a martini. That's right. We've had this happen before, haven't we? Yes, I saved it. I saved it earlier today for Cocktail Hour, Pedro. I really wanted one, but I saved it just for you and the audience this show today.
You're so sweet. Look at him.
Mr. Parfums is in the house, and he says, yes, I can see Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked. Right? What's his famous line in
You quote him all the time, and
now I can't even think about it. Yep. Was in the grocery store, was talking to this person, and she was like, you look like Russell Crowe. When I first looked at you, that's exactly what I thought who you were. And I said, one could only wish. I mean,
Pedro,
he's a cool guy. Yes, sir.
You may be a cool guy, and Russell Crowe may be a cool guy, but you know who's a really cool guy? This man in the box on the other side of me. Look at this. This is Mr. Fire Chicken himself. Mr. Fire Chicken himself was on Infineon's Mooner Dust today. Lunar Pump Fund. Their token Moon or Dust. They run a game show. It was the first time I've watched the game show a few times. First time I watched it all the way through. It's really good. It's a really good game show. Yeah, and it's well done. It's well produced, and there's somewhat of a chance of winning or not. And it's really well done. I was very entertained by it in the middle of the day here, and by getting to see Mr. Fire Chicken leave his patients to the side while he tried to earn some money for his fire chickens people.
Nice. Moving on up.
Speaking of, here's Mr. Fire Chicken himself. Back to the premium account with none of those commercials. Good for you. We'll take it. We'll take it. But the big story, Pedro and I can go on with platitudes about all our viewers all night. Suck up to you as much as we possibly can to get you to keep coming back. But we know you guys want to get to the serious content. The serious content is, I'm already known to be having a martini, but Pedro, what exactly are you eating here? To me, it looks like peaches. But I'm guessing it's some kind of homegrown potion of some sort that you've manufactured out of potions and poisons.
No, I had a friend of mine. His kid wanted to do a TikTok cooking thing. And so, he's him and his daughter. It's just him and his little girl. And so he made this. And then he dropped it off. And I said, bro, I don't need that. He goes, no, it's good. I said, yeah, you said that last time. And then, but man, it's fire, man. I'm like, it's like this. It's supposed to be cornbread, but they put bacon. They put some eggs up in it. They threw some cheese. I'm like, good Lord, this is fire. It's good. Really good.
Fire. There we
go.
I did that to you on purpose there, my friend. If you can't beat him, just join him.
I agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, a quick pitch before we get into this. Over there's a little blurb on the side of the screen. It says, join Rumble. That QR code doesn't go to make you pay for anything. If you're watching without an account, just scan that code. It goes to the DYOR link to join Rumble. We get credit for just at least bringing new subscribers on. Don't even have to pay anything. Not asking for your money. Just go do that. Create an account. Especially you people on your big screen TV. If you're watching on your big screen TV, you can go and pop that QR code on your phone and join, and it'll all work out just fine. Trust me on that. Pedro says, let's go. As always, I got to get all this stuff in. Oh, where is my other... hold on, Pedro. I got one more thing to mention here. I thought I had this... There we go. Join our network, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to have more crypto shows on here. Trying to put a couple more together. If you're interested in having a crypto show and don't want to bother with the production of it and the distribution of it, just want to be part of a bunch of jokers here giving you good information and teaching you, let us know. Get in touch with us. Whether it's just a podcast or a video podcast, a vlogger or something like that, let me know. We'll talk about hosting your show here on DYOR Live. We won't even ask for your money. We'll just get you in here, get you a good show, and see what you can do to get an audience. Anyway, that's enough of that. Pedro, what the hell's going on with Bitcoin? It has just been brutal all day, but all day I've been like, yep, it's going to do that. Yep, it's going to do that. It started to pump a little bit, and I'm like, it's not going to do that. And then it's sure enough, boop. What's happening?
Nice too. So let's talk about here real quick from yesterday. So we talked about this acting as a support area that we could see that was yesterday's or 2 days low into yesterday. So we saw, and forgive me because I'm about to burp in y'all ear. Forgive me for about that one. That's gross. I know. Ugh. I know it. All right. So let's check it out here. You can see how we came down into this area, which was yesterday's low. And I said, expected to see a bit of a bounce up from that. And so we did get into it. I did say, this is how I want you guys to get into it. You can see how this is where we were looking to get in. I said, all right, guys, as it goes up, we want to get in right here. We want to put our stop right at this level here. This is where we're talking about getting in at.
Right.
Which is right here. I said we want to stop right here, right? Because we started to show some strength coming in with the demand with the demand wicks, right? Came in here. I said we want to hit that 50, and then we want to see if let it run. Well, it stopped us out. And so that first tip, and I should have brought this up. So the first time we hit that stop out, I should have said what we're looking for is as we're coming back down, right? If you do get stopped out, because I knew this would probably kick up, that we want to make sure that as we're coming down again, you're going to see it be looking to stopping people out. And so you can see these start to, as they're going up right here, you can see they're going up, but not a lot of actual real seller volume. And then the buyer volume, as we were coming into it, you can see right here, as we were coming down here, you saw buyer volume. See it?
Yes.
Here, you can see here, we had buyer volume stepping in, and then seller volume as we're coming back down weaker than the previous buyer volume. So you knew it was going to be coming up here. So that sell off here, we want to have been looking, all right, when do we come in? We saw a seller volume step in. This was an exhaustion candle, as you can see right here. Then we see it start to come with more volume. So we would have been looking to capture the long. We didn't do this. We got stopped out. But if ever in the future this happens, this is what we're looking for, right? 1, 2, 3. We captured that movement right here. Our stop goes to right here.
Yeah.
Right. Boom. We look for a 1-to-1 ratio. Boom. Once we hit it, we put our local stop at the low right here. Boom. But originally we put the stop right here, and then it continues up. Right. And normally, so I knew it was going to be coming in. I just didn't know. I thought we had hit the low because it was a, what's the word I want to use? It was a sequential time change. And so this would have been the next 8-hour candle. And I thought we'd already put that 8-hour candle wick in, along with where it went and sought for liquidity. So that's why I was expecting it to go back up. I was a little off. It looked about 4 hours, three hours here. You can see how they were just taking people's stops here. But then once they were able to, you can definitely see where then the buyers stepped in. Boom, right here, came in. Boom, they tried selling it back off. Couldn't.
Didn't work.
A lot of work didn't work. Then you saw it kind of push back up. So right here, when you start to see something like that, this is something that we're looking at. And at these lows, a lot of times it's an art form. It's not necessarily a science here. So that's why you kind of go back and do back testing when you're looking at this type of entry. Again, you want to see it break the 8. Sometimes you can actually play this off of the 15. A lot of times you can do that, but that was this play right here. You can see how it kind of came down. We went above. Once we were above it and closed with volume right here on the 15, you can see how we went up again. So you would have, again, this is one of those quick trades that we're not
catching the market makers fake out. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know, like they're going to, their order bag is filled with too many buys because everybody's been selling. And so they've got to take those buys. So this is where you're seeing them really put in their sell positions to the buyers who are coming in. They got to draw in buyers so that they can sell their buy positions that they absorbed all right here. And so you can see that that's what this looks like. Like it's a reverse and in a liquidity reverse. And so this is where you saw the Asian market kind of come in and then start to push the market up. So it's pretty much like it's just classic stop out, take everybody's stops at these lows and then turn it back up. But ultimately, it did work. We saw it go up all the way back up to that 92, which we were talking about. And then we saw it sell about off again down to that 87 to 85-ish area. I guess the low is 86 to 260. So again, we're looking for that area of that 85 to 83 area here. We've already sold off through here. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I was just getting your attention for the timer. Pedro, let's go over a little bit of that in more detail here, but we've got something more important to talk about right now.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Jansen, the Fire Chicken master himself. Serious content right here, Fire Chicken. 1-year-old today. Check out that daily chart. Looks even better compared to Solana and not USD. Thanks to Tom and Pedro for the knowledge and entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Jansen donating $10 into Pedro and I's pocket. Thank you very much, Chuck. Really appreciate it. As we always say, everybody's donation goes not just to help out Pedro and I with the show, but helps to show the algorithm who's got the love. Who's got the love? This guy's got the love. and that guy's got the love, right? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot to Chuck for joining us. I do the audience thing, but I don't have the sound effects on today. And congratulations to Fire Chicken at its 1 year anniversary. As we know, 70-some thousand tokens are launched every day. Very few of them get past a few hours. Very few of them get past a day. Fewer get to a whole week. Even fewer get to a month. Those that get to a whole year are very rare. Great job, Chuck, in dealing with the people that want to rob you, scam you, and slam your project to zero. You did a good job in fending them off and bringing value to all of your holders, which includes Pedro and I.
Absolutely. Yes.
Good job there.
Yes.
And welcome to everybody on the show.
How's
Go ahead,
chart?
Pedro. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, how's the chart doing so far? Right now, my PC.
We'll bring that up when we come back here in a second. Here. Congratulations to everybody. We've got a good crowd here this evening. Thanks. We've got people on YouTube watching us, Facebook, X, and here on Rumble. Got a good crowd for our not normal evening show. So thanks to everybody. As always, Pedro and I will be here for a little while tonight, answering questions about stuff. If you've got a project that you want us to go over, send us a whole bunch of money. Questions. It wasn't passive aggressive, was it? No. But anyway, thanks to everyone that's watching. I still have the starting soon thing on. You guys, if I leave the starting soon banner on, you guys say, Tom, starting soon banner's on. You've been on for 20 minutes. But anyway, thanks to everyone for joining us here tonight. And once again, congratulations to the doctor in the box behind me here. Not good pointing this direction on the green screen. There is Mr. Chuckson. In his scrubs, too, nonetheless.
Which was epic. That's actually really cool.
Pedro.
How's my internet? Is it showing weak?
No, showing pretty good.
All right,
Let me double check that. No, it's yours. It's strong. That's
for whatever reason, I'm starting to slow down. This always happens. I don't understand it. Like, it doesn't make sense.
All right. While you deal with that, I'm gonna do the old read a Rumble ad thing and keep I'm gonna keep everybody entertained with my unique delivery of the ads. Let's see which one. I know Morning Kick wouldn't be a good one. Ooh, yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to earn a little bit of money. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear. Cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It's here. And this latest move cements that reality in the biggest way yet. Trump Media Group just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They're teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in Crow, the powerhouse token that fuels fast, low-fee DeFi staking rewards and real-world perks. Just like cash back on your spends, to launch America's first Crow treasury. When it's done, this new company will be the biggest Crow holder out there. Want in on the action? Head to Crypto.com today and grab some Crow. Let's make crypto great again. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Got a Kraga? Kraga. Crypto great again. Let's make crypto great. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on your big screen TV, there's a QR code over here on this side of the screen over here. Put your cell phone on that, pop it, put your eyeballs on our sponsors. It really helps Pedro and I out when we show interaction with our advertisers. Even if you don't give them your hard-earned money, just giving them your eyeballs helps us out a lot. If you're watching on your phone, there's a link in the chat section. If you're watching on the replay, thank you very much. And there's a link in the description. So head over to the QR code over here. It's Crypto.com today to buy Crow and be part of this historic move. Don't wait. Thank you to Crypto.com for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. All right. I like that. Crypto.com. Thank you very much.
Let's go. I think what's really interesting is that I was looking at a few wallets, some DeFi wallets, and I was looking to, what is Crow staking there compared to on the app? And you actually get 2% more, like 2.5% more than the actual Crow on Crow. I'm not joking. I was like, wait, what?
That means they're throwing a whole bunch of marketing money at that.
I don't even know how much it was, but I was shocked because I was like 2% is giant. That's 200 basis points, 250 basis points. And when you're talking, they're paying you, they run that staking on a, daily basis. So it starts to accumulate quick, on a daily basis. And then you restake that crow. And then again, it's like the compound is pretty impressive. I just like shocked that it's even more on some DeFi wallets. So I'm just like,
Pedro, do you have your phone in a different spot today?
Yeah, it's a little forward. Let me go push that back just a little.
We had the big Pedro. We had the Fred Flintstone head there for a minute, and I was like, whoa.
She said.
I walked into that one again. It's like once an episode I walk into that.
It's all good.
Let's see. We got plenty of time. Fire Chicken says, I got the Fire Chicken over there on the great graphics machine over there, saying that in the past 24 hours they've done $8,000 worth of business over there. How about that?
That's what's up, dude. That's growing.
Give us the gold or the cooler.
I love it.
He says, a crypto.com ad? Damn, you guys be big time. That's how we roll, man. We went knocking on that door. Please give us 78 cents, please.
Oh, yeah.
But it's got to start somewhere. First they take little ads out on our channel. After that, they sponsor us to fly around the world on a private jet, repping their brand.
It's coming. It's coming, I'm telling you.
Pedro and I coming to you from on Starlink on the crypto.com G800.
I'm headed over to watch. I'm gonna call it as it is, man. Look, it's sooner or later we're gonna be there. We'll have 5 or 6 shows, and it'll be fun. We will be there one day, seeing it. What's even more interesting is that as I really look at our show and the structure, I feel like we've really matured over the last couple months, right? Like really trying to nail things down. And I know the audience doesn't know that. But we're trying, we're legitly trying, and so
we are. We're at the point now where all we need is a good sponsor to help us with the production assistant type like that to run all the systems that we've set up. So I stopped stirring them up in the middle of the show.
I think they're endearing in a sense. Let me tell you the truth.
Every show has its quirks, and definitely. I have my quirks with the audio going out. I'll forget to turn the mic back on. And then you have your quirks where all of a sudden you're like, today China said, and pew, your internet goes down. And you're like, no!
Every time? Dude, why are you bringing them up? Watch.
I know, next thing you know, Pedro will just disappear. Oh! There. Sorry, Pedro's gone.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. Chuck says Fire Chicken single prop crop duster coming. Yeah, no Bombardier or Gulfstream for a Fire Chicken. He's got this crop duster with Randy Quaid flying it from Independence Day.
Dude, have you seen the Independence 2?
It was just as good. It was a great movie, also.
I think it was. So here's the thing. I asked a Gen Z, a Gen Alpha about it. We were all, at the generations there, and so we're sitting there, we're watching, and I was like, "Oh, this is great!" And they're like, "This is so corny."
Oh yeah.
They were like, and I was like, "How do you say this? What?" That she's like Will, and they're like Will Smith. And I was sitting there going "Okay, I can't deal with y'all. Just be quiet and just watch. You're lucky you're even sitting right here.
Exactly.
They totally don't even get it, and I'm like, how do you I was trying to show them one of the greatest cinema masterpiece of our day and age.
Holy Grail.
No. Which is one? Yes, I would say that's one of them.
Monty Python.
No, oh dang, you're saying
Mel Brooks. Spaceballs.
Dude, well, remember that one movie with that
Blazing Saddles.
That's another one too. I mean, that's That's a Goldie, but that's like lost in the angel.
The sheriff's a nick dong. No, damn blame it.
Oh, what's the one with the guy? Well, I remember vote for Pedro. What is that? Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite.
I was trying to explain Napoleon Dynamite why it's funny. Like, you know, it's literally just making fun of bullies and dorks. It's like that quintessential, like, you know, like mockery of it. And I'm sitting there, and they're just like, "This is so," my equivalent. This is so lame. Like, and I'm like, "Oh man, I'm the
I
old
put the ponytail
guy."
off the side of my head.
Like, for real. Like, I was like, dude, that just sucks that they can't even see it. Like, they don't even get why this is so funny or epic. It kind of hurts. It kind of hurts.
You know what, Pedro? Why don't we give Chuck some love here and go over Fire Chicken while we got everyone's attention.
Let's do this here real quick. We're gonna do that just a second. I'm actually want to.
Yeah, that's fine. Any order, just to bring it up in this.
We're gonna
this
do
section
it. No,
of
we're
the
gonna
show.
do it right now, but I want to do it right now. But I just want to.
Bump bump get away.
Dude, I found this new band. It's called Ugla. I think I'm messing up the name, but it's basically like African Christian worship, but it sounds like five
African
songs
Christian worship. That sounds like it's from
worship.
like either the Coptic Christians in Egypt or the Ethiopians that weren't Jewish but were Christian. Something like that.
No,
or all those Nigerians that are getting murdered.
Yeah, it's actually it's really sad. It's like really, really sad.
Totally.
Like all these people are fighting, you know, for people over in Palestine, yet literally there's a religious genocide going on right now.
I know.
Like we're talking like thousands.
And it's the size of Texas, not
yes.
Gaza's the size of Bergen County in Jersey. You know, it's much smaller than that. It's the size of Lower Manhattan.
I was sitting there trying to explain this to somebody. I was like, and that's where where we're seeing the biggest persecution. But there's also 5 other major persecutions that still are ginormous compared to what's actually happening in Gaza. But they are dwarfed by what's happening in Nigeria. So it's like we're talking millions of Christians that are literally being tortured. It's just, anyways.
But that's not politically correct, Pedro. It's only politically correct if you side with terrorists and people that kill babies.
It kills me. It literally hurts. And I was trying to explain it to somebody, and they were like, you know, it's like when white people were saying to when Black Lives Matter, say black, and there were White Lives Matter as well. And this person's like, you're bringing that up, and you have this minority over here that's being decimated. And I go, okay, I get it. Like, I can see the parallel there, but here's the thing: both need to be talked about. Like, that was the issue, is that both were not being talked about. One is being highlighted over another, and one, you know, like, most people don't realize that there's actually more brutality that happens to white people. Like, people don't actually know that. Like people, like I said that one time, and this dude was like, "Shut the F," you know. And I know. I said, well, here's the thing: I'm not I don't back down, but because of my years of sales, you know, I have the ability to I de-escalate a situation and then be able to slip in, like, hey, and so by the end, the individual came to my view and actually understood as we started looking at monetary and numerical examples. Like here, look at the these are the actual real statistics. And it was actually kind of cool. The problem is that when it comes to religious things, what's actually happening, and again, my heart still goes out to the Muslims that are being trampled in Gaza. That's it breaks my heart. But then also at the same time, also what breaks my heart is when you hear what's happening with a lot of Christians around the world that are just literally being decimated by extreme right wing Again, just like Christians have extreme right wing, you have extreme right wing Muslim sects, and these groups go after, and it's sad. It's sad. It's really sad, and it's like when people aren't willing to talk about both ends. Okay, let me be quiet.
But you will find friends here on Rumble. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It is talked about here on Rumble. On YouTube, they just derate the shit out of you, even though they claim not to.
Yeah.
They just say, nope, you can't talk about that. But it's true. I mean, not to beleaguer this topic at all. It's typical of the media narrative that even we face in crypto, is that once the media gets a certain idea, in the media narrative in the religious wars has forgotten all about the millions of Christians being murdered and focuses on the weird story of terrorism and terrorists and supporting them. Just like in crypto, I'm not trying to equate, religious wars in crypto. Trust me, I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is that the media bias is once again saying crypto bad because Trump says crypto good. And so the media has been like, oh, well, obviously crypto's bad. And the media lately, with the price decline in Bitcoin, has been, I don't mean the crypto media, I mean regular media. It's been like, oh my God, glad you didn't get your grandma into this. She would have been out on the street again. And, or not again, but out on the street. And
I was gonna say, when you said again, I'm like, dang, grandma got out of that life hard.
Grandma was on the streets as a youngster. No, I mean, 4 years ago when crypto went down, they used anti-crypto people used that excuse, and they're drumming it up again, and the media's playing along with it, saying, "Oh, everyone's out all their money." When when you look at the charts, is it a big downturn from 125 to 88? Of course it is. Is it a big deal in Bitcoin? No, it's not at all. Most holders that are just, they don't care what the price is. They just keep buying as much as they can. And the people that trade it are like, woo, thank God, some volatility finally. Woo, yes.
That's exactly. I mean, look at the S&P 500 today, man. I mean, it literally sold off. It went high. I actually went long at the very top of the market, thinking we were going to go up just a little bit more. So I was trying to capture the last little bit to catch it going up, and then freaking it just dropped. I was like, "What are you doing?" So I got out real quick, and then I had to wait for the market to kind of bounce back up and then get in on the short. But I was just like, "Holy crap! This thing today, like it literally went from 786." All the way down to 200 points to almost 200 points.
I don't know what we're looking at on the screen though.
Oh, this is the S&P 5. I'm sorry, this is Fire Chicken.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I just realized that. I forgot I had my other chart. ES today, the futures. I literally went long right here. When this thing turned green, I said, all right, we should go up, hit this liquidity area, and then come back down. Yeah. He like spanked me, turned me on, and said, "Wow!" I said, "Oh, why'd you do that? Couldn't you just go up just a little?" And it said, "Nah, we're taking that liquidity." And then it just went. So from the peak to the valley, it is right there. See how far that thing rocked. From a high of 791 was the peak, and then it dropped from 6791 or 6791 all the way down to 60. Yeah, that's 200 points, around 200 plus points that we saw a sell-off of this. I'm talking, that is crazy. The amount of points, like I caught a 5-minute pullback here that pretty much just dropped. This thing just literally just dropped. We had this guy right here pulled up to the 8.
And this is not normal in the stock market indexes, people. This 5 minute after 5 minute after 5 minute after 5 minute down. It's not as they say, not normal.
Yeah. But I mean, they're getting, like I said, when they drop it like this, they're going to bring it back up. They'll stop everybody else out. This right here is actually a great area of liquidity. You can actually play this here. There's off of this S&P 500 right here. You can see. Yeah, dude, I want to play this song so bad, man. It is so good. It's so good, dude. Did I send it to you?
No.
Okay, I probably should stop talking about it. It's so good. Dude, it's like I'm sitting in like
in Africa?
Like, yeah, dude, like no, in Africa.
Just rip out some Toto. Just to say, you know, their song. Back in Africa.
Oh yeah. No, dude, this thing, listen, dude, it's so freaking good. Oh, dude, it's being a douche. All right, never mind. All right,
ladies and Pedro, if you don't notice the message, it's skipping the commercial break, but I will just give a little love.
I actually have not been paying it. Forgive me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us, everybody here. Please comment, like, subscribe, follow, share, repost. Just do it. We're a small channel here, and we'd like to get the algorithm behind us. And not everybody can donate the big bucks like the Fire Chicken guys can to feed the algorithm. But you can too, just by hitting that like, comment, and repost button, dropping a chat, dropping a comment in the regular comment section. All of that helps all of the time. So thanks to everybody.
All the time, yeah.
For participating in the great project Pedro and I call DYOR Live, including Jason 0768. 0768. That was my old zip code. That was my old zip code in Connecticut. 07768 in Ridgefield. 07. I think that's what it was. Mm-hmm. It's only been 45 years since I've lived there. Crypto Mike in the house coming to us all the way from Manitoba. I don't know if you noticed the previous messages, Mike, since you just joined us, but Carmen Crypto is in here, and she tied the knot with her longtime boyfriend, Brian, longtime partner, Brian, and Carmen Crypto hitched it up in Vegas. Actually, I'm assuming they got hitched in Vegas because they lived there, but they may have gone somewhere else.
That would actually kind of be cool. I mean, I have friends of mine. I have an ex-girlfriend of mine that I actually Facebook stalked here. She came up on one of my feeds of like an old like 10 plus years, right? And so she lives in Las Vegas. So I went and checked her out. I had a Facebook stalker, and I sat there and I was like, holy crap, man, I was so proud of her, man. She's doing so good. Her and her husband. I was like, there you go, man.
Pedro, I got to interrupt you once again. Chuck Jansen comes in, fire chicken galore. The chickens are getting deep fried tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, snap, my friends. Jason, who I'm guessing is Jason Spurgis, and Mike are here. Let's celebrate again. Donation $10. You can't even believe it, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro and I, we're just taking the money and running tonight. See you guys later. Have a nice day. Try the veal.
We're going to Ibiza, baby. Let's go.
We're going to Ibiza with $20. That could get you a Ryanair flight there for $20, but might not be able to get a taxi anywhere you wanted to go. Anyway, thank you, Chuck Jansen and the whole Fire Tricking crew. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate the attention you bring to the show, helping spread the word, and of course, helping feed the algorithm by putting your hard-earned money into our pockets. Whoosh. Thank you very much. Yeah, and in case, I know Crypto Mike knows this, but many of you don't, there's some surprises in the emoji section of the chat section. Check them out. Check them out, ladies and gentlemen. I put some surprises in there.
Check them out. They're awesome. Let's go. Respond. Alrighty. Okay. Let's go over Fire Chicken here real quick. Because I really appreciate that a lot. And let me go ahead and interact with that just a little. These guys rock. Yes.
I don't know if anyone else is having a cocktail tonight, but if Chuck Jansen's having one, we're going to do the show more at nighttime. Earn more money that way.
How much money do you make today? $20.
$20.
Yeah. There we go. Rocking the mic. All right, guys. So let's check out. Oh, God, buddy.
I was going to say, knowing the IRS, they would claim that because it was crypto related, that was short-term capital gain. So you'd only get like $6 out of it.
Yes. That makes me sad. IRS. Alrighty. So let's look at our good old friend Fire Chicken here. They came and hit the supply here. We sold off, came and hit it, and we're kind of pulling back here. So this area here, we've got a couple places here that we could expect to see a nice little move.
Pedro, my system here for some reason is rounding Fire Chicken to 10,000ths of a cent, and it's giving it for the high and low. I thought I had it set up to give more decimals than that. What is the actual price? Not market cap, but price.
That is going to be 301686.
All right, one in the 1.6 area. Okay.
Yeah. So we got this nice little area right here. It's pretty epic right here. I like this little guy. We're just gonna place this nice little purple little dotted line, looking all just fresh and so clean. Trying to do some Bob Ross here. Yes.
Chuck, we'll do that. We'll flip the Sol chart on in just a second here, and then we get the real look at.
You can see here, we're still playing off of that 8-period moving average. You can see here that we're seeing the crossover of the 50 and the 100. So the fact is that it is not being killed as much as, I hate to say it, Bitcoin shows its resilience here, whereas right now we know that Bitcoin is below the 400 period moving average. You guys are still above the 100 and in between the 100 and 200. So that shows a lot of strength within the project there. You would expect to see some of these small caps just kind of just get decimated. And here you're watching it just kind of hold strong. In addition to that, you've got a nice little liquidity area sitting right here at that 0001. Right there. Was it good fart?
Yeah.
Was that good fart?
No, that was not a personal problem on my end. That was me looking over at the great graphics machine where Solana ended up today.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Dude.
Talk about taking a beating.
Yeah.
Talk about taking a beating like insert your old analogy that's now racist. Just
that is not going to age well.
No, I mean, whatever you would fit into that, like blah blah blah. That whatever that is that you could say in the past is now like, ooh, I wouldn't do that if I was you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Solana is one of those ones that like it has such a huge community, man. I mean, like really, like it's really got it. So it's actually holding up. Like when you think about like let's talk about comparative to Bitcoin, right? The fact is that it hasn't came down below this area of that 120, the 126 area, which is where we were kind of waiting for it to come down to. That 92 area, that's one of those areas that is like it's a psychological support area. I don't think it's going to go below that 79. It's I don't think it will. I think there's too much money sitting right there that I mean, I say that, but you know what? That could very much be what the institutions are trying to do. Take those people, they liquidate them, and then bring it back down to that 16 and then rally it back up. That very much could happen. But I mean, the idea that this had a pretty big sell-off here. But when you look at what if you look at Fire Chicken's holding strong. I mean, just
let's talk about Fire Chicken again, about the holding strong, and click the link up there where it says show it against Solana instead of against the USD.
Oh yeah, where's that?
Right next to the market cap one, right? That, yeah.
I mean, look at that, man.
Right, when you remove remember everybody, a tokens based a token pair. Remember, it's the token's value, which is 0 when it starts, and you pair it with something else, to give it value. And that underlying token for Fire Chicken is Solana. And so paired strictly against Solana, this is the real price and real price action of Fire Chicken. And it's basically been up, up, up the whole time. And that big up and down was, I believe, they had an influencer get involved and it went boop, boop. But if you, irrespective of that, it's definitely an upward trend, which means continued investment, continued trading, and all that. Now, Pedro, flip the chart back to USD.
Give me 1 second. Boom.
Like, what? And now, when you see, this is the exact same chart, but instead of paired to the price of Solana, it's, well, I should say paired, I should say measured against the price of the USD, which, because Solana's price goes up and down, the Solana to USD price varies. That's how you get much larger variations in this. And you can see, because the chart over here has just been going up the whole time, you can actually see where Solana started declining in the middle of October and has gone down. And the value of Fire Chicken has depreciated. But because the wizard, I mean, Mr. Fire Chicken himself, has wisely adopted multiple liquidity pools, USD and Solana, he plays them off. In times when Solana is down, he withdraws the Solana and puts the USD one in. And when the price of Solana is going up, he does the opposite. So you participate in the gains of Solana and mitigate. And when it drops, you mitigate against it. Very good if you can manage that well. Very dangerous, because if you screw it up, bad things can happen. But Chuck's on top of it, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why the Fire Chicken chart is doing so well, even in times of crisis, when Solana has dropped 50% in just a short period of time. The Fire Chicken has not dropped nearly as much.
You know, I think it's what's also important to point out is that this isn't Chuck's first rodeo. He's done this. You know, he's ran a couple of communities. He's been able to be kind of like, you know, he ran it with you were part of him in a couple projects, and not ran it, but like you guys were just a part of it. And you're huge in the community.
No, Chuck. Sorry to interrupt you, but I want to clarify that Chuck ran a project that's pre-sale was 2,400 BNB, and he successfully launched it, and it went for quite some time. That's 2,400 BNB. And if they had just fucking held until now, that was 4 years ago. Just held it. It would have been worth a goddamn fortune. Like most everything else, just hold it and forget about it. Just like if they just done that, project would still be around. Everybody would be stinking rich. Oh, and look, the better half is now of the Spurgis couple is Shireen, because she's the one posting now. Before Jason was on top of it. Jason, you're out. Shireen, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Definitely.
She says, Fire Chicken is awesome and Chuck does a fantastic job. There's been no better community and token leader that I've found than Mr. Jansen for giving it his all for such a long period of time.
Yeah.
For a project. Well, I'll give the man in the box ahead of me too with his community. He's been involved with his community for a long time too, and stuck with him. Did the community takeover and then kept it going for a long time.
Still is.
Still's going. But, years.
And we're about to launch. We're about to launch one of the biggest. Yeah, we're gonna get it. So we're gonna launch some new.
No,
stuff.
Chuck. Obviously, you're correct on the situation that happened back then. That's a story for another day. That is just a great story of rugged, ruined, and wrecked, and we'll tell that one day. We'll tell that like the modern crypto documentaries, but VH1 style, where everything's great and the music is great, and then the music turns and the color disappears off it, and then they discovered drugs. That was not even getting into it now. But Shireen says glad she could make it. Thank you very much to your entire family for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. Fire Chicken, go out and get it. As always, as a disclaimer, Pedro and I have a financial interest in Fire Chicken, but they have not paid for us to stump them here. They've done a good job. It's their 1 year anniversary, so we're covering them for that reason. Well, I guess technically they did pay us because Chuck sent us $20 today. So.
But we do we cover them. I mean, they don't.
We'll be like politicians. We're gonna donate that to the starving people of Oklahoma.
And then they buy a bunch of stuff. And then they put it into warehouses. They let it sit for 5 years, and then they take it out and sell it on the government websites. Anyways, that's actually, right. And it's under FEMA. Did you see that whole entire? Anyways, we're gonna get banned again. I think YouTube's gonna just be like, FEMA, we can't.
Yeah, Pedro, we got a minute and a half till a commercial or a top of the hour update.
Yep. Just interrupt real quick. I just want to have you. What type of news have you been looking at?
I got a couple of stories that one of the things I wanted to talk about was just blue state hell, meaning Coinbase is moving to, and I was going to do this right after the commercial break. Coinbase moving to Texas. We're going to talk about that. Got a couple other things that are just relative to the crypto market. Ready to go that we can sit and have a nice discussion about. And of course, anything that you've got as well. I invited the Canadian Bitcoiners here and Corey too from the Ottawa Bitcoiner Club. If any of you guys are out there watching, please let us know. We've got a good crowd tonight here, Pedro. We've got a lot of people watching on Rumble, a bunch of people watching on Facebook also, believe it or not.
Guys, we do. Listen, I know when we have 100 and when we have 200-300, we're still going to say we got a bunch of people because we appreciate every person that's out there watching us over on Rumble and everywhere else.
Texas blows. That's because Chuck's in Oklahoma.
Okay.
You're just pissed because you used to be part of Texas and they booted you out, right? They said, we don't want you weird people, you Okies. What is it that I do? Like the Oklahoma.
That's funny, dude.
Oh, Mike, don't get me started on this. I saw one of the ministers talking about that, about dumping the F-35 program and buying the Swedish Gripen's jet, which is a great jet. Trust me, the Swedish, they make a great jet. For what it does. What it does not do is blend in with the American flight profiles and equipment and all that type of stuff and in defense of NORAD. It would be a catastrophic mistake. And Prime Minister Carney really believes that he is the leader in thought on all this type of stuff. And he just makes one misstep after another. Just one after another, and turning his back on the Americans for weapons purchases. Literally, our North American defense NORAD system, we all have the same planes, we have the same refuelers, we have the same parts, we have guys trained the same, train on all the things so that a Canadian can jump in an American plane, American can jump in a Canadian plane. We can all do all this stuff in times of emergencies. And then they say, oh, we're going to go buy a bunch of Swedish planes, which not any American knows how to fly. And then the Canadians won't get trained on F-35s. And the most important part about the F-35s isn't the pilots, it's the maintainers. And the maintainers, it's very difficult on those planes. If we don't train the Canadians to do it, they can't participate in the program. And it's the disaster. I don't want to go on about that because I'll talk for 4 hours about it. Anyway, Pedro, it's the top of the hour here. Let's man, that pisses me off because I participate in both political systems. I'm getting into it again. Oklahoma. Oh, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to do that thing again. And unfortunately, I don't have a coffee with me. I just don't. But I'm going to talk about 1775 coffee, ladies and gentlemen. I'll pull you off the screen for this one, Pedro.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you still not tried 1775 coffee? Well, now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit has dropped. You've heard me talking about it for a while now. They made 1,000 units. They're selling them. I know, because people that watch this show told me they bought them. Seriously, that's actually true. when you buy 1775 Coffee's package starter kit, you get 3 things in it. You get their bold dark roast that hits hard. You get their smooth medium roast. And you get their Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. Nope. All single origin, small batch, toxin-free, and mold-free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't served with plastic, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. You're getting a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions. You're getting a black 1775 tumbler. You're getting $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. That's right. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up right here on DYOR Media and Rumble. Wondering, is it actually worth it? Spoiler. It is. So go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a QR code over here on this side of the screen. Go ahead and put your cell phone on that and click that. Go put your eyeballs on our sponsors. It really helps us out. I know you hear me say this a lot, but I still got to do it. In the chat section, if you're watching on your phone, there is a link there as well. If you're watching on the replay, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. There's a link in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, 1775 coffee, brewed bold, served fresh, unapologetically at home. Thanks for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. As always, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking. The man in the box here right now is Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. The man in this box over here is DeFi Sean over here, and Mr. Fire Chicken himself, Chuck Jansen. It is the Fire Chicken 1-year anniversary, and they celebrated that by being on Moon or Dust today. If you haven't watched Moon or Dust, go find it. I'll drop a link in the chat here in a minute to it. Just literally Google Moon or Dust, and not Google it, but in YouTube type Moon or Dust. Or you can go to Lunar Pump Fun and get all the links you want. lunarpump.fun. And get all the links to that. But anyway, Pedro. Coinbase.
Yeah, Coinbase. Let's talk about that.
Coinbase has said, you know what? We're tired of this crap. They're incorporated in Delaware. They operate a lot in New York. And they said, you know what? We're tired. We're tired of all of this. And they made a decision. Coinbase to Texas, as the graphic shows. I tried to use AI to make Brian Armstrong there riding a bull. Didn't quite get it on the picture, but got it on the video that you may have watched earlier in the show. They are reincorporating in Texas. And now, why is this why would you think that this is a big deal, Pedro? Well, I just happen to tell you why it's a big deal. Because Texas decided, here's the article here. Nope, that's your screen. Texas decided that they want to be the center of the financial industry in the U.S. Now, Texas has a few things going for them. They're already a massive financial state because of the oil industry. They have a shit ton of money running through that state all the time because of oil exploration and pumping it out of the ground, but also because they're a massive terminus for oil coming from all parts of the U.S., including Canada. Canada's delivery of oil, because there's no pipeline in Canada that goes across their country. The United States has like 40 or 50 or a million or whatever it is. Canada doesn't have one because they get so many protesters out there saying, oh, you're going to ruin our land. Even if you dig a tunnel a mile underground, they're like, oh my God, am I ruining the mile underground water supply or something? And they just can't build one. So what do? Build a pipeline to Texas. So Texas has got the money. They said, we're going to use our financial capital here to draw more in. And they are drawing in people and companies from New York, California. I know they don't really want the Californians because they bring a whole host of mental problems. But they're bringing people in from blue states, especially their companies and their corporations' headquarters, which pay their taxes. And Texas came right out and said, dear companies, if you move to Texas, you won't pay any corporate taxes for a while. Gave big economic stimulus packages as long as you bring jobs. Can't just reincorporate and have a lawyer office. But if you move headquarters, move people, and employ people, we'll give you a big tax break. And it's working. The New York Stock Exchange's owner, the Intercontinental Exchange, has said we're going to start moving operations to Texas because New York is unaffordable, not for people to live, but for businesses to operate. And I saw a pattern here because a lot of big hedge funds were located where? In one of the global headquarters of DYOR Media in Chicago. And Citadel, Nuveen, and I can't remember the other big hedge funds, all have left Chicago for Miami. We talked with Alex yesterday about Miami and how great it was. And Florida has no taxes. They're pro-business. They're happy to have people come in. And the blue states aren't. And the title of the show here, I didn't have it on the thumbnail here. I had it in the description, was Who's Going to Turn the Lights Out? All these, the blue state, and I usually I don't get that much into the state by state, argument amongst people. But the blue states are going down the line of saying it's the big corporations' fault that everything's a problem. They're not taking ownership of their policies that led them down the rabbit hole of disaster. New York just elected a communist who said, I'm just raising taxes on companies. It's their fault. The mayor of Chicago tried that too, saying we're going to blame companies for all of the poor people's fault and the breakup of families and all that type of stuff. The lack of dads, a topic to your heart. He blamed it on McDonald's. And McDonald's is like, really? We employ half the kids in Chicago at one point or another, so don't give that shit to us. Boeing left Chicago, all these types of things. They said, you guys don't have it together. Why are they leaving? Why are they leaving these cities? They're leaving these cities because they just make it difficult. And in no time ever in the past it's been so easy to just get up and move a company. Because most of your stuff is now in the cloud, digital, whatever. There's not 80,000 trailer loads of paper boxes, and Marge, the secretary, she can be the secretary whether she moves to Texas or not, whatever. And so when I saw this article, I thought to myself, I said, Striking, would you move to Texas? Now, obviously, I thought about it, and Chuck made it clear that would not be a good plan because Oklahomas hate Texas, and I don't want to piss off Chuck, our most loyal viewer here. But that's not the point. Even Mrs. Striking, he said, Texas has some benefits, and I'm like, no, there's big flies. It's really hot. You have to drive anywhere. Not a single city can you walk anywhere. It's pretty much the antithesis of what I like. But if someone said, hey, Striking, your DYOR Media there with Mr. Pedro suddenly got all these billion-dollar offer or multi-million-dollar offer, and if you move to Texas, you would avoid, $30 million in taxes, I'd be like, see you. You can buy a lot of fly spray, if you've got an extra $30 million. So there is an advantage that the blue states simply do not want to say exists. And that is if you do things well and set a business-friendly climate, and that doesn't mean take advantage of the workers and that you got to put the workers down. Texas is not a super anti-union place. It's got unions, not strong ones because it's the South and it's Texas and stuff, but it still has them. And if you say there are better ways to tax people and run the government than solely taxing income, tax consumption, put a lot of fees on things, which drive people crazy. Like in Florida, they fee you to death, Pedro. I mean, just getting your license plates ridiculously expensive and stuff like that. But you can choose whether to pay taxes or not based on what you consume. If you don't want to pay the high cost of that, everybody has a price for everything. So if you don't want to pay the fee, you don't have to consume that. And if you do want to consume that, you're like, I have to buy that, then you build the fee into your budget, and by the time you pay it, it's fine. They're taxing income, which we're going to do another show on later on when I get my argument straight on it, is a killer to an economy. And even though the U.S. economy is doing, compared to any economy ever in the world, it's kicking ass. Places that have less taxes are going to do better simply because they have an advantage, because people choose with their money. We see it in crypto. We choose it. You mention this every effing day, Pedro, in the bond market. The government can say whatever policy they want. They can put out the numbers, whatever they want. All you have to do is look at the bond yields. And if you look at the bond yields and they're going up and the government says everything's great, you know they're full of shit. The government says we're having a tough time and the bond yields go up, you're like, yeah, you're right. The government says, everything sucks, but the bond yields are going down. Then the Wall Street says, no, the government's a little wrong. The market's doing well. So my point of going on this long opinion piece here on this is who's gonna be the last one in the blue states? Is it going to be the criminals? Are they going to even give up too and just be like, shit, no one left to rob? I robbed him, and then the next day he robbed me back, and then I robbed him again. Or is there going to be any population left eventually that gives a shit to make a change?
I think you hit a good point, and I feel like that point is really just the fact is that in blue states, where I live in, there are a lot of people out there who hold and carry guns, and they do it right. They have the correct paperwork, the right type of system, and what I find really interesting is that there's still a lot. I mean, most people don't realize that New York, vast majority of it is farmland.
Right.
And it is.
I know.
Like a vast majority of it is farmland. And you got good old boys with their shotguns. So it's just like, I feel like, you got 10 million people over there. All right, great. But come Armageddon and stuff hitting the fan, like, just those good old boys will be like, shh.
But the good old boys are paying New York City style taxes. They're paying, they're paying, in rural New York, which is like the middle of Indiana. It's kind of same place, farmland, small towns, this type of stuff. They're paying taxes double and triple. What people do in Indiana. Even central Illinois has some onerous taxes and kind of harsh alternative minimum income tax. AMT, alternative minimum taxes, and their corporate or their personal income tax is 4%, which is not a lot. But if you're already paying, if you're in the 38% level, a lot of farmers are in the 38. They sell, $800,000 worth of corn, and most farmers are a sub S corporation or an LLC. They're personally liable for that tax, and then you add 13%, like California. Suddenly, you're paying more than 50% tax. Farmers can't move. But they can move their headquarters to Texas. Let's take a quick break from this and thank once again Chuck Jansen for lighting the algorithm on fire. You have my blessing to move to Texas. Just be on the north side so I can come visit. Pedro, you too. People forget Texas is the size of Europe. And if you live on the north side, that's living in Scotland, and you live down in Houston or in South Padre. It's like living in the boot of Italy. It's way down there. It's way down there. Big place.
It's what's interesting is I absolutely love Texas. It's like really like when there's a small little town that if I am going to retire down there. It's called Wimberley, Texas, and it's stuck in between a big old lake.
We're bringing this up,
and then. And then there's two rivers that kind of correlate that you can actually, or like river or ponds that sweep throughout the whole entire little town. And I was just like, man, I remember I was in the military, was stuck out there with a friend of mine, and I just remember just being like, this is where I want to retire. Like I was just like, and that's when I was thinking I was going to go 20 years. Yeah, there you go. It's stuck in between. Look at that big old body of water right next. And then I think you have Houston to the left, right? And then is it Dallas?
Yeah. Houston there is to the east, and San Antonio. Yeah. That's actually a good location. You're just far enough away from Austin to keep away from the California people.
I know,
and, dude. San Antonio I've been to San Antonio a lot for conventions, and is a nice place, but it's just a little too far south, and it's effing hot there. And
it's like that place is like little, and honestly, I haven't been there in not 20. How long? When was Katrina? 2005? Yeah, shoot, 20 years or 19 years. Yeah.
Come on. Been that long?
It's for me, yeah. Katrina, right? I think it's 2006, right?
And Chuck says we're gonna flex that algorithm tonight. Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, dude. Thank you, man. For real, thank you. If any of you guys do that, man, that helps us out tremendously, and we allow, helps people out. What I thought was really interesting is looking at the U.S., the 10-year, right? They're talking about how they're not going to be dropping rates in December. Yet we're not really seeing that. Like we're consolidating. If the news, them saying that they're going to drop the rates or they're not going to drop rates, meaning like typically you would start to see pricing go up, right? Because again, the rate yields move, and so the fact that they're just staying stagnant here kind of puts me at odds to sit there and say the traders don't believe it. They're kind of chilling here. So it's really interesting to see what's actually happening here with the 10-year. Speaking of that, sorry, I'm going to bring that up here on the on it. You can just see right here. We're just kind of look, lower high or lower low, medium low, and again lower low, high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So it's like obviously we're going to see is something similar. It'll come up, hit that again, and then come back down. I'm really kind of expecting. Are they going? I feel like they might drop it. I think they know that the job reports are going to come out, and they're going to be bad.
Yeah.
And like we already saw that already today. I mean, it was the economic report of the jobs, bro. Was pretty substantial. I didn't get into it because I was doing a couple other things today, but I know that the jobs report were pretty bad. What is it today's day? This week, Thursday. The market just sold off. Here you go for Wednesday. There we are. Yeah, initial job claims were literally down 224,000, which is a pretty substantial push. Whereas 3 months ago, 6 months ago, Powell was literally screaming the job market is stable, everything is great, don't worry, y'all are making much to do about nothing, and now it's like the street kind of knew.
I think Powell is having a martini like me here behind the scenes. He's like hiding behind his podium when he dropped his pen once, and I think he was like this. Or he had a water bong down there. Shit, I'm lying to these people again.
Yeah, I guess you know what I mean. If these things fall apart, he's gonna be the fall guy. I mean, because Trump will literally scream. I've been telling him since my start, since the start, to lower rates. And if everything does fall apart, now I keep saying that. Look, lower rates should stimulate a market when it's healthy. But if it's not healthy and you don't have jobs, it doesn't matter if you lower rates.
Right.
People don't have money to spend. And
just ask the Japanese who had to do negative rates. They had to pay you to borrow money.
Literally.
Thus the carry trade exploded.
Well, and also there's a little bit more to that, right? It's just not,
of course,
they were also trying to draw money into the states or into their state, into their country, right? And the people did the carry trade, and that went on for almost like 30 plus years. So, again, that's just, yeah. I mean, actually 90s, right?
Yeah, I know. It went a long time.
Yeah,
they had like zero rates and negative rates for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. It's been such a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome X viewers. Thanks for everyone joining us on X. Just noticed there's a couple of you watching over there. We've had over 50 viewers on X tonight.
Up over there. Shout out to Ghost. Shout out to Coach. All you guys, I really appreciate you guys showing us some love over there as well. You guys are amazing as always. Love what DEF CON is doing. DEF CON 7. Shout out to you guys. The trenchers in the trenches, looking out and trying to get in, finding those meme coins, and it's amazing how many they call out and how many they find. in the hundreds of thousands, and then they ride them to some of those billions. So crazy times. Also shout out to Shogun. That dude has been riding hard out there, man, for Aster. So I gotta give him just respect for that, man. He didn't bounce, he didn't go, oop, no, that dude was solid like a rock. So shout out to you. Speaking of Aster, let's pull up Aster here real quick. We saw a bit of a sell-off come in yesterday and into today. And so this is now, like, I like this right here. You see the sell-off right here? You see that it's starting to come down here? So this is going to be the area that we're going to be looking to get in on as it comes down. And it's going to be roughly around this area here, about right here. So I'm looking really to enter into when it pulls back at that 98.7 to that 93 area. So yeah.
Thank you, Fire Chicken, for finding the X view. Stimulate that algorithm. Thank you very much.
Did he just threw money at the X as well?
No, he's just viewing from over there.
Oh, I gotcha.
I'm sure Mrs. Jansen is like, will you please just pay attention to the TV show instead of staring at your phone, for Christ's sakes? It's like, sorry, gotta surf X, gotta surf Rumble, gotta surf YouTube, gotta do Fire Chicken.
He's gotta have a great.
Chuck, are there Fire Chicken leggings though? That's the key. Are there Fire Chicken leggings? You know what I'm talking about? The yoga pants.
What? That's what I thought you would. All right, next. I want to leave this alone.
No, Chuck knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right, so this is kind of like where we're looking. So we want to see this thing kind of drop back down to this lower level here. And then
what number is that, Pedro? I can't really see it behind me right here.
97.75 and 93.
But what do you want to see when it gets down there?
I want to see demand wicks. Like, you see these
demand
wicks
wicks
here? You see these babies right here? This is what I'm looking for. I want to see this come down, pop it, and we're going to be seeing those on the intra time frame. We want to see massive ones coming in on the 4 hour and on the 2 hour, on the 1 hour is what we're looking for. So, and we want to see major volume as it's doing that, right? I mean, just as it's coming down, boom, they're putting in buyers, boom. Here's one, they didn't really put much there. That's why I was a little hesitant of these ones, because I'm just like, there wasn't enough demand wicks. I guess there were some demand wicks here, some as down. You can see how we were coming down. They were putting it here on the 1 hour. So that looked nice. And then they just came back, got more orders, boom, pushed back up. I want to wait to see as it comes down here. That 113.95 area here, excuse me, 95, yeah, 97, 95 area cent area here for this trade. I think this will probably be probably lifetime lows, in all honesty, when it comes to Aster here. So I'm going to be picking up some Aster when it starts to come down into these lower levels here. Kind of, few $400 or $500 throw in just to have on the side. And if this thing decides it wants to go to mega millions, I'm not gonna stop it. Get on, get it on.
Mega millions. I still haven't won the Mega Millions lottery yet.
Shocking.
Keep trying. I know. Yeah, I thought the odds were in my favor, but apparently they're only in the favor of some well-deserving person in the central South Carolina or whatever. I can't remember the last place. Somebody won $1 billion, and you're like, oh, they're gonna blow that really fast. And sure enough, they're like, within like 6 months, they had lost. Like when you get $1 billion, you take all cash after tax. It's only like $260 million, and they had lost something like $180 million within 6 months to scams, bad investments, and stuff. I know.
Oh,
it's like
that hurt. That hurts so much. It's funny. Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah, I said it right.
Did he win in Ohio? He was running for governor. Or did they have? They should have had their election.
Check it out for me real quick.
I am.
Why he's doing that? I want to also bring this up here. So, he has a little bit of investment company that he's doing, and he's trying to set up with crypto and stuff like that. So that's why he didn't come on with the Trump administration, But what was so interesting is he got into it on the 10th. He got into it around, the 9th and 10th. And he put in about, $162 million into it. And dude, talk about jacking over your friend. Mind you, like he was actually, see how we got above the 8 period moving average? You see how he saw like, oh, okay, we're hitting the 400 period moving average here. We're starting to go up. All right, he thought he was going to be able to push it. Dude, they literally dropped it on him. This is where he got in at. They just decimated him, dude. Like dude. I mean, literally, it went from it's 20%, 20+%, dude. If down.
If only. Wait, let's get this straight. Ramaswamy started a company. Him and his friends got together. They funded it with, let's say, $100 to $200 million of some sort. And when they got in, the price immediately flushed. So what does that tell you, Pedro? It tells you, well, I'm going to answer this for you. It tells you that he should be watching our show, because we were saying that whole time it's coming to 85,000.
Yep.
Vivek, his election is not till next November. And strangely enough, he's not leading in the polls. The Democrat has the lead, which is very rare in Ohio. I mean, Ohio has been red in governor for a long time now. And they've been a swing state, but they've tended red for a while. But they still have a lot of blue. They've got a bunch of big cities, so they have lots of blue counties. Like when you look at the picture, 99% of the land area is red. But Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland, and for some extent, Toledo, Findlay, and Fostoria, and whatever city that university is in, Ohio University. We're Tree City West, whatever Tree City is. They have very blue counties, and they have a big blue congressional representation, but they tend to elect Republican governors. So I think Ramaswamy will pull it out in the end. I actually met their last governor, Mike DeWine, when he was running for U.S. Congress. He was it Congress? Yeah, he was running for Congress, and he was a Cincinnati area guy, and he visited the factory that I worked at, and gave his little speech and all that. And I was like, he's a decent dude. I'll vote for him. Moved out of the state before I could vote for him, so I never voted for him.
That happens. So one of the things I wanted to look up here real quick is check out some Crow here. I'm looking, like I've talked about. So I've got a I've got a limit order down at that 7 cent and 6 cent area here, but I'm also expecting to see a bit of a potential pump as we come down into this other liquidity down here at that 0.094 to the 0.092. Again, this play is a play that we're looking to take, and as this is going to be quick trade. These are just quick trades, right? And we're looking for demand wicks as we're coming down into it. As we cross below it, we want to see it get above the 8 period moving average on the 5 once it starts to show some strength. And then from there, once it comes back in, starts to show some demand wicks, we bounce off the 8 period. We want to see it continue up. We've gone over that trade multiple times here, so you guys know what it kind of looks like. But basically, I can just always like to do it just so that you guys know what I'm talking about here. So here's a liquidity area right here where there's be a bunch of stops, right? And so you can see here as we come down into this low, actually this would have been right here. This would have been we're in the middle of the day. So this is a better suit. So you can see it comes down. We have a lot of volume coming in right here. We see it come down, tap below boom, we see it go up. See the demand wicks happening right. You can see how this is a area of liquidity. You can see where they put the demand wicks. We're also sitting right here. There is a demand zone that we're actually in that is bouncing off of. So you have liquidity coming in. We see it then as it comes down that they put in demand wicks. You can see here, we see it close. We see the test right here on that 8. And so you get in roughly around this area here. Your stop is going to be right here. And then we're going to look for a 1-to-1 ratio. And so that's when we put this on here. Boom. And we're looking for something like this, a 1-to-1 ratio. And then the rest, you can see it rally back up. So that's kind of like what we're looking for down in this area over here at the 9-cent area, right? That's kind of like what we want to see. Where the market comes down and puts buyers, we come back, test that, and then we see it rally back up. We're kind of playing off of here also because this is the previous day's low, right? So we can sit there and say, here's previous day low. Then you can come in on the 5-minute. And you can see how the price comes down. There's a bunch of stops right here. You can see it starts to come back up, right? And we want to see it get above that 8. So you can see here, this is active trade where you can see they're putting in demands right here. You can see that you're seeing a pickup of buyers stepping in with a deep, you can see right here, the red right here is lower volume. And so higher volume coming in, lower volume red. And so that's why I want to sit there and go long potentially right here as they're coming into it. You want to see it close green as it's bouncing off of that 8, showing that it's activated and it's going to go up. So that's really what we're looking for right here off of this liquidity area previous day. Down here, it's going to be a similar situation. So that's what we're looking for down here as well. Again, these are quick trades. We're just looking for a 1-to-1. We get in, get out, have a good day. These high quality, where it's just, you're not betting the farm. You just want to go in, make some lunch money and get out.
Some lunch money.
A couple $100. So, yeah, that's it in a nutshell. All right. So I want to also shout out here real quick. When it comes to, I never fully finished on our friend here, chicken or fire chicken. I like this area right here of that 0001407. It's coming down there. We should see some buying really come in from there. And then if you look, again, it's that 14, where is it at, weekly? You can see that the weekly 20 is sitting right there as well. And so I like the looks of this where you're seeing good volume starting to come in and it's starting to hold here. And so I would expect it to kind of play off of this, kind of consolidate a little, and then see another continuation up on potentially breaking that high of 000. I think it's 00029, which is roughly on a market cap of, I believe that 286. So I'm expecting it to at least come and tap that 300,000, if not try to reach for that 400,000, which should be the next leg up. So we'll see what's up. But that's kind of like, hopefully, that's what we see. That's kind of what I'm expecting. So I like
Pedro, I've noticed that in Fire Chicken, the 24-hour volume has gone up by a couple $100 just during the show here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
there
that's right.
The
master shiller at work. Not only that, but I must point out that my dad always had a rule. He still has the rule. He made it sound like he wasn't alive anymore. He still has the rule that if you have a proper martini, meaning an American style, not the Canadian style where they serve you this much, it should take you more than an hour to drink it because they're strong and you don't want to wipe yourself out. And I was successful today. I poured this at the beginning of the show. We've been here for an hour and a half. And I have successfully followed my dad's rule of taking longer than an hour to do it. And as a result, I'm not hammered. I got that going for me tonight, Pedro.
That's what's up. So check this out. Share that is rolling out account countries labels disclosing where users are based. I thought
that's interesting.
Really, yeah.
I didn't think Watch Your Guru was in the United States. I thought it was overseas.
Well, remember, do you remember our conversation?
Pedro, we've been doing this for 3 years.
We got a lot of conversations. Yes. Okay. So what I reached out. We started talking because he saw our show and we were talking about a couple things, potentially where would be a good place, because where he was living, right, wasn't too friendly for crypto.
Right.
And so I said to him, I said, dude, I know you got more than enough money. Why don't you just come over to this area here? We were talking about it, a few other places, and I said, the South is a great place. There's a lot to go. I mean, it's huge. Just one state alone. I literally said one state alone is the size of Europe. Really, dude, just come over and see, we have a bunch of Airbnb over here. Hop around, see what you like. I go, the fact is that if Trump gets in office, he's going to push crypto, because we talked about the thing. And I mentioned, they're going to take the stable coins, the only way that they're going to be able to help with the U.S. debt. And this is when we were talking about, a couple years ago, and Biden was still in office. And he goes, what if Biden? I said, dude, if Trump gets in office, just come over. Find your place where you want to be, and you're good, right? And so it looks like that's what he did, which is kind of cool. I thought it was
that's interesting. I wonder what it says about the old striking here.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it says global.
What does mine say? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. We're running long in the tooth here.
All right. So I also want to bring in White House advisor Hessett says data suggests the Federal Reserve should cut interest rates in December.
Man, did you see those the minutes? For those of you who don't know, the Fed releases its interest rates and guidance on what it's going to do, and lowers the rates or raises them. And then the next week or 2 weeks later, whenever it is, they release the minutes from the meeting. This stenographer takes the minutes, yada yada yada, and you get a feel of who's in favor and who's against and what the reason is. And it was a fight this time. It was a fight, and clearly there are people on Mr. Trump's side are just like, cut it. And other people are like, whoa, hold on there, Jimmy boy. And this is not a good thing to be cutting like crazy. We've got inflation going on, and I guess the doves won over the hold it, not the people that want to cut it like crazy. But it was not a kumbaya type thing where you're, singing "We Are the World." It was definitely a rap song from Compton. That's what it was.
Dude.
And these are the 12 people that control our money. It's not going well.
Yeah, it's sad. It's actually really sad, dude. Ethereum coming down here.
Oh man, how many people were predicting Ethereum at $10,000 to $15,000 by this time, by the end of this year? Oh, that's right, you were.
Yes,
but you weren't super strong on it. I mean, you were talking about it, but there's a lot of people out there preaching it like it was the next
gospel.
Like the gospel, and it was not. It got anti-gospeled. It got buried like the Torah.
The Torah, dude.
Like the scrolls, the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Ethereum got buried and sent off to die.
No, but
buried with the Egyptian pharaohs. Bye-bye. You and King Tut go hang out over there.
Dude.
King Tut. Living in Babylonia, moved to Arizona. King Tut.
Okay, walk like an Egypt. All right, so let's focus
that
here.
dates me.
Yes. Now here's the thing, though. We talked about these liquidity areas, so we're kind of just selling off like butter through these. So that next level is that 2100. If we coming down to that 2100, I'm gonna pick up a bunch of 21, potentially 1500. I'm gonna come because here's the thing. I still believe a 1300 Ethereum is not off. It's not far-fetched. And again, we could see this thing pull back. I'll put it like this. You remember when Jamie Dimon made it very clear? He goes, there are certain cryptos that do things and certain cryptos that don't, like Ethereum, speaking that it does things.
Right.
And he understands that. Like, he very much gets that. And so part of me almost is wondering is like, he knows that you can also use this as a treasury. There's a lot of companies that are going to use this as treasury. He wants to use this as a treasury. And if this thing is selling off, they're buying. So it's like, I think what they're going to try to do is push this as hard as they can down. And then the next level is just skyrocket. And looking like literally potentially this. Next one could be something like this, right? Boom. And then up. Or the next one could look something like this. We see it come down, pop, take out all these stops right here, all these stops right here. Then all of a sudden, everybody here, they start to push it up, right? They're like, oh, we're going to miss it. And then people jump in, they come back, double test, boom, and then just does this. I just gave you 3 scenarios there that I think potential could. I'm still very much bullish on Ethereum. Very much bullish on Ethereum. 1300, I think we could. Look, we've seen Bitcoin skyrocket and fly, like where it goes from 10,000 all of a sudden to like 100,000, right? So we very much could see that here. It's something that we very much could see. So I'm not gonna put it out. I just won't. I'm gonna sit there and go, dude, 2,000 to 13,000.
I mean, knowing how, with doing this long enough, how the markets are manipulated and how many people, it's not like people are watching Ford stock here. I mean, people know they can manipulate this and get massive FOMO in it, not just from retail people, but they can get massive FOMO from other industries, from other banks, other market makers, and really move the price. I mean, when people FOMO on Ford, the stock price goes from 9 to 10.5 because they raised their dividend payout by 20 cents. And you're like, woo, baby, making an extra 20 cents a share, which is a lot if you have a couple of million shares. But if you're just an investor, it's not much. But with this type of stuff, you know what? They're like, they're just manipulating the market. And you're like, that's fine, because it's absolutely fine because they're going to drop it. You can buy low with them, and then they're going to crank the price, and you're going to make 100% or 200% on your money in a very short order.
Or, dare I say, 2,000%, or
Exactly.
4,000%.
Like Fire Chicken. You're going to make 4,000% on Fire Chicken when it gets to $2 or $10.
I mean, just.
I hope Chuck's still listening.
Right?
Oh, shit. Now it's empty. Lasted a good hour and 40 minutes, but that'll be the only one. I think one of the times I had 2 old fashions on the air, and you were like, Tom, I think it's time for you to go. And I was like, I think you're right, Pedro.
Well, one last thing. 1.3 trillion Morgan Stanley no longer accepts the Federal Reserve to cut interest in December.
Right. Actually, what's the old poly market say here? Poly market.
Dang it! There
Let's
it
see.
is. Also, I forgot to mention.
Let's see. Hold on, I'm just showing the Fed decision in December. Right now, it is at. Hold on, I gotta go look at it here.
While Tom is doing that, You can see on my. Oh, you already changed it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, hold on 1 second here. It's
Yeah.
they've changed their interface here slightly. Anyway, you got to pay more for yes and pay less for no. So people are anticipating no. It's looks like it's 65% say no change. 34% say decrease by 25 basis points, and only 1.3% say a 50-point decrease. I think those people have some old bets that are left over and not claimed. So Polymarket is, before Polymarket was at like 80 to 90%. Still, 65 to 35% is still kind of in the range of that could change quickly type stuff.
I mean, dude, if we see another 200,000 negative in jobs, we start to see now unemployment really start to pick up, dude. Like, because their only thing is to drop rates. It's not like they can create jobs, right? And so how are you going to literally cause people to want to go out and start hiring? They're seeing a slowdown in the economy. This is the part that it's going to get really rough, right? Like, they're holding on a little too long. You want to generate some form. I'd almost say like this. If this happens, we're going to have deflation. There's no way that inflation will be able to keep going. Like, I mean, like short term, because honestly, our debt here, like I always talk about, which we're just about to hit over 25% of that $1 trillion over the last 2 weeks, right? Like, look, this thing's, a couple weeks ago we brought up, we just crossed $38 trillion. Now we're 25% up from that, and it's been a couple of weeks. So it's starting to move quicker. This part's starting to move quicker than what we're expecting. But we are seeing an increase in the GDP as well. So that's also good. We're at 31 trillion, 31.5 trillion, almost 36 trillion. So this is somewhat kind of looking better, but I mean, this thing's got to pick up. It's got to, he's got to pick this up. Like, if you want to allow this to keep doing what this is doing, you've got to have at least an equal amount that this stuff.
Right, that GDP needs to be 1-to-1 or better.
Yeah, it's just gotta be. All right, my dudes. That's on that end. And let's check out how much the average American is worth.
Ooh. Where can I collect my check?
Right.
No.
The average American.
Right above me, ladies and gentlemen. Right here.
See that? Everyone
519,000.
Yes, sir. All the land in America. If you look at all the gold, precious real estate, mineral reserves, stock market, recaptured assets. Total value is a second billion, million, billion, trillion. We're worth $177 trillion. And if when you go through and you spread that out to every American, each one of us is worth $1,000,000. So,
Pedro, let's quickly look at the price of crude oil here. And the reason is that some random viewer, otherwise known as Chuck in Oklahoma, says the Raptor index in Oklahoma is pretty high, which is the number of oil field guys selling their trucks.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because, as we've said before on this show, the price of oil coming down is great for the economy. It's all sorts of awesomeness for everything, but the U.S. is a big producer of oil now. So when the price of oil gets down too low, it shuts down the production of oil. Now, which naturally balances it back up. It's that kind of stuff, which is that's fine. Supply and demand. Problem is, it puts a lot of these middle class workers out of work. It's not putting the wealthy guys out of work. It's putting the middle class workers out of work, which is a problem because oil rigs are not seasonal jobs. But when the price gets too low, they turn into seasonal jobs, and that's not good. Where's the price of oil now?
So right now we're actually seeing a drop We talked about it bouncing a couple of weeks ago. We were looking at it, and I said we should see a bounce off of this area right here, right? So we saw it kind of come down, bounce off of it, came back down, tried to go back up, fell through, took all the liquidity, pushed it back up, and now we're continuing down. So we got one other area right here. I'm going to show you here real quick, and this is where I would expect it to go to. It's going to be down here at these levels. So it's that 5730 area is one of the places, and then we have that 55 area that we've talked about for almost a year now. Actually, a year. Dude, we need to go back and we need to play all the Trumpian trades, because literally today, a year ago, he was brought into office.
Good point. Good point.
And we had the Trumpian trades, and at that time, crude oil was sitting. Where was it? November. Wait, is it November or December?
Well, welcome to Barbaro Land on YouTube. The name is new, but the logo is old. I can't place which person had the modified Honda logo there.
Got it. Jesus.
No, it's not Jesus.
Yes.
I can't remember who it is. Well, thanks for joining us. And I remember because I asked him, I said, "Is that the Mobil Oil logo with the pig on it?" And he goes, "No, it was a Honda logo." I think he drives a Civic of some sort that he's got souped up into some awesome rice burner.
Accumulation times crypto. So, yep, exactly. It's exactly Barbaro Land. Hey, we are really starting to grow our stuff over on the Rebel account. If you want to come over and visit us over there, you can actually play us without having to have us. You can play us in the background if you want to as well. So we'd love to have you come over there if you can.
What Pedro is trying to say is with the Rumble app, you can turn the screen off and put it in your pocket, and it'll still play the audio. Or the YouTube app, you can only do that if you pay Google $99.
Yeah.
And my phone said, "What do you want to talk about?"
All right. So, like again, I'm looking at right now. We're seeing a bit of a sell-off over tonight. Again, we always talk about if it's selling off in the evening, we should see a rally come in, so that we have a couple areas that we see a bounce off of right now. Literally at the 58.17, we can see a bit of a bounce, but I think we're actually going to go chasing for that 57.37. So, that's kind of where it could come down to. The other part behind it, as well, as you can see here, is that 55 area that we've talked about. If we come down to this level here, you can scrape by, but the thing is we've talked about how it really puts pain on who? Russia, right? Puts pain on a few of those other entities that use it as an export. We're doing so well with the algorithm right now. I do not want to say the wrong thing. So, but I still want to be able to talk about certain things. So there's the Great Dragon, who is out there.
Well, they benefit from cheap oil because they have to buy it.
Yes. And so that's going to help them quite a bit. Now, the other part behind it is we've talked about our trade with copper. Copper has actually been consolidating here, which has been really interesting.
Hold on, I got one more. Back to crude oil for a second, Pedro.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things, two important topics or items with crude. One, the production cost is right around $52 to $53 right now, I think, something like that. And so if it gets below that, we're going to see some pain. Where they're seeing pain, this is no coincidence that you just saw the Saudis visit the U.S. recently. And they came over the big entourage and pledged a big investment in the U.S. And you're like, wow, I wonder what caused that. What caused that was this price sinking. And this price sinks because the U.S. is no longer an net importer of oil. We're a net exporter of oil. And we can have a big influence on the market. And we've been pushing the price down because we keep pumping and keep exporting. Price comes down, the Saudis are suffering from that. And so they want to see an end to that or a stabilization to that. whether or not we're going to follow through with that is beyond my research into the topic. But it's no coincidence that as that price has been sinking, the Saudis visited and been like, "Oh, wait a minute. If the price gets too low, then Saudi Arabia turns into a powder keg, and nobody wants that. Just because that means more, Middle East mess that we don't want to deal with. So it's entirely likely that the Trump administration is incentivized to keep this price here where it is. You've seen Mr. Trump before say, that price too high, and it crashed. Now he's probably going to say, don't go no lower. And it's keep this floor so the Saudis can be profitable. If the Saudis are making $3 or $4 a barrel of oil, versus, $70 a barrel of oil, it's a big difference. But if they're making -10, that's a big problem. Big problem.
Well, and here's the other part. Like this, so this is Trump. This was the Trump trade. They shot it from the 55, and literally within 2 months, shot it all the way up. And you can see here, this is during the summertime, peak of summertime. So they were thinking there was going to be a huge amount of demand because America typically drives around when we consume a lot more oil or crude oil during this time period. But that's not what happened. America really started holding on to their cash and kept it. And so you had lack of demand. Plus, Trump was just like, knock that, literally his exact words is knock that shit off. Pardon my language. That literally was his. And
You're
so
pardoned?
Sir. And then, good sir. At 70, so it went from 78, literally you can see 78.46, and literally dropped 68. Like that amount of power is nuts. Like that, and I talked about that. And so this is really where there was two things. There was the lack of demand, and where we were seeing usage actually come in around, I forget, I think it was here. September is when ConocoPhillips said we're slashing a ton of jobs, and in addition to that, a lot of those jobs are going to go to AI. And so again, you're seeing a lot of those jobs leaving the market, and people are starting to get hurt here. And so the ability for this market to go lower, listen, they can slash more jobs and allow the price of crude oil to be mined at a much lower price, especially with what we're seeing with the humanoids actually really starting to come to market. Again, we could see if America pushes it. I honestly don't think China is great. I'm not saying, oh, dang it. It's so hard to stay away from them. But the reality is that I don't think they really have that good of a robotic force. I think they do a great job showcasing a lot of stuff, but I don't think they're at where they say they are, where they literally have robots breakdancing. I think Americans, with a lot of our stuff with Neo and a lot of the other stuff, we're going to see a lot of these robots really get into the manufacturing area, which will drop the prices lower. Americans will be able to handle the price shock. The rest of the world will not. And I think the fact that we're becoming more centralist and protectionist, it's definitely going to allow us to buy more of our oil. Yes, billionaires are not going to have as much money as they want, but the oligarchs who've been selling that stuff literally to Europe and Africa are not going to be able to stomach that. I don't think they're going to. And so this is where this right here is financial war, and people don't even realize that. Like this is very much Trump. This is very much him manipulating certain things. And so I think he'll sacrifice a couple of eggs to crack the whole entire dozen with overseas political maneuvering. And you nailed it hard, man, when you literally were saying that Trump really gets that idea behind it. So it's real interesting. The thing that we want to pay attention to is also we want to be paying attention to copper. Copper is also another one that plays a similar role with the rest of the world. And so this was a similar situation that we saw the gold to copper ratio won't go into that per se right now because it's at the end of the show. But I'm watching copper because if we see another drop in copper, which is what we're kind of seeing here, you can see we're on that 50. If we can't stay above that 50, we're coming back down to that 200. And I don't think we're going to hold at the 200. I think we're coming down to the 400, or excuse me, to the 400 period moving average, which is going to be the 460 price point. So if it does that, that really means that the rest of the world is really hurting from a manufacturing standpoint. China is not buying as much as they used to. And so who's really pushing the market up here is really speculators. So it's going to be one of those things that I'm staying close and following this. And if this thing sells off, it really holds true upward supply and demand and manufacturing around the world. And a lot of that has to do with crude oil. So you kind of want to be paying attention to both of these. Sorry, I know I just gave a mouthful there. Did we just see a bunch of stuff drop?
Nah, we're still doing good.
Yay!
All good stuff.
Normally when I start to get too detailed like that, people look at me and they just leave. So I'm just like, wah, wah, wah. But I feel like I really got to bring some dope stuff to the market here. I'm actually they're probably gonna invite me once we hit 75. They'll probably invite me back onto the Bitcoin hitting 75. They'll probably invite me back onto the Bitcoin.com show there,
because they'll be like, shit, he was right.
Well, here's the thing. I was calling for a Bitcoin to hit 10,000, 5,000 originally when I was on it. But I just, like I've talked about how I've had to retract my view of that because realizing that I misunderstood where the world crash is happening, which is basically the US dollar value because of our debt circumstance situation.
Wait, are you telling me you went on Bitcoin.com's podcast and said Bitcoin was going down to 10,000?
I did, actually 5,000 too. I did. But the thing is, and the CEO,
it's like telling the mafia you're an FBI informant.
And you know what? And then they sit there and go, okay, all right, we'll work with you. You know, like, and so I think we sold off to that's when, close around that time we sold off to 75,000, 75, and then they were talking to me like, how far do you think you'll go? And I was literally believing because it was the November low that I was looking at, so that was that 15,000. So I was like, yeah, we probably will go here, but
I don't think that went over very well at all.
No, but they had me back on, so that Corbin's pretty cool. All those guys are really cool. I was trying to show myself, saying, "Hey, if you guys need a TA guy, I don't mind coming on and helping you."
They're like, "We're not going to bring the guy on that turns all our viewers off."
Dude, that's exactly because I said, "Do you want the real answer or?"
And in news today at 11, Bitcoin.com predicting Bitcoin will go to zero.
Dude, but here's the thing: this is before anybody was really talking about. Bloomberg had just started talking about Bitcoin. Nobody was really talking about it. And so for now, everybody and their mom talks about Bitcoin. So
that's true. Oh, that's funny, Pedro. Anyway, but there's been a lot of times I've laughed at the things you've talked about, and that shit came true. Pedro, that's just not going to drop all the way down there. 4 months later, you bring up the chart, and you're like, oh, shit, that dropped all the way down there. But Bitcoin dropping to 10,000, there would be the bankruptcies would be outrageous. I mean, it would be.
Here's the thing, though.
The S&P would tank. It would be a disaster.
Here's the thing. I would buy. I would leverage my kidney. I'd be like, how much is that? All I got is one. I mean, I got two. I don't need both. I'm in good health. And give me $1 million for it, man. Boom.
Fire chicken and know your pain with Bloomberg and Seek. That was part of that great story from 4 years ago. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is that part of the show where Pedro and I have to wrap it up. We've had a good time tonight. Glad we got the opportunity to have the evening episode here. Brought in the whole crew here when they had time out of their workday. As always, I've got Pedro Garcia in the box next to me. Got Fire Chicken here and DeFi Sean on the screen next to us doing the Moon or Dust thing. I encourage everyone to go watch Moon or Dust. It entertained me sufficiently today watching Chuck win a few bucks for his the Fire Chicken crew, which I believe he had a nice little Fire Chicken buy and then locked up the tokens or some sort of thing like that. Barbaro Land, who I think is Rollin' Rod, I think that's who it is, says, yeah, that Bitcoin crash sounds silly when they want everyone on and would scare people away. It would scare people away, but man, what a buying opportunity.
That's the thing.
It would be a massive...
Look at that. I'll put it like this. This is important for you guys. Do you remember when everybody was afraid to buy tech stocks in the 90s? And then after the huge crash, do not forget that, because that's where Bitcoin is sitting right now. Like, it's still, it's maturing, but let us not forget this right here.
Pedro, I don't have your chart up because we're at the show end here.
Well,
oh my God, I just got the notification from, oh my God, my ears just exploded, sorry. I'm pointing out Bitcoin has dropped below 86,000. It's now in the 85 zone. It's going to hit our 85,000 target here tonight at some point or another. Holy shit, this is the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's scared the junk out of you. All right,
sorry,
let me just put
this is Striking just messaged me and it has a special tone and it just exploded in my ear.
All right, so let me just finish off here. All right, the United States, or the 100, or the 100 index, the Russell 100, not the Russell, the Nasdaq, at the peak in January of 2002 was at 4,800. Okay, it dropped all the way to 700, 800. Literally, like, that's 80% of its value dropped. 80%. And this is when you're talking Yahoo was around, Google was starting to, Google came out in 2008. But like, this is the fledgling of this all, right? And you saw other crashes. This would be that crash, that type of crash, where it would go down to 10,000, scare everybody and their mother out of it. They buy up everything, then they send it all the way up. Literally, it goes from 7,000 or 700 to 20. What is it at right now? 24,000. 24x.
Epic.
Epic.
All right. Epic. That's all the epicness we got for tonight. Barbaro Land, Roland Rod says, what's up? Check out what's up with Nokia. We'll put that on the list. I saw your comment about getting into AI. Every company is getting into AI. Even the company that I rent licensed music from now is dropping that because you can just AI any music you want now. And they're getting into AI. But Nokia does have a history with compute, so they might be better at it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as always, thanks for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. In this special edition of DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. The man in the box next to me is Mr. Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking. We enjoyed coming to you this evening on November 20th, 2025, bringing you the good stuff and the entertainment. Hope you enjoyed this show. We'll be back tomorrow at our normal time in the middle of the day. Who's getting the last comment here? It's Barbaro Land. Anyway, see you everybody tomorrow. Be there. Be there. This button. Fire Chicken says, excellent show. Roll the momentum into Friday. We will do that. Have a good night, everybody.